To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to give somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's
I always tell people that you're very rarely going to walk into a bar and meet somebody who's got $10 million that's going to lend you. It doesn't work like that. The people who primarily lend me money are people who know you, like you, and trust you. Okay? Those three things. So you have to work on these relationships. You have to earn their trust. You have to get them to know you so that they could like you. And then the raising money part is easy. The raising money part is easy. I always tell people, what's to smack yourself in the forehead, doink, okay? Single greatest resource for private lenders is right here. Not my cell phone, your cell phone. Who's in your cell phone? People that already know you. People that like you. They must like you if they take your calls, okay? And you're not looking for millionaires, you're looking. I love to raise money from mom and pops. People who used to put their money in CDs when they paid 6%, and now they're paying, 0.85%. They don't know what to do with their money, but they understand real estate. You give them a first position note and mortgage secured against a piece of property, they understand that. If they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they know you're in the real estate business, and you go to seminars and you learn everything there is to know about this business, okay, you are going to raise their money. And I pay people 7% interest only. Typically that's what I pay the mom and pops. If you go to the millionaires, they're much tougher. They're going to want higher rates, okay? And it depends on the real estate deal, whether I would take their money or not. Did you hear what I just said? Whether I would take their money or not. It's all about the attitude, okay? I don't want to borrow money from somebody who's going to tell me how to run this property. I'm the real estate expert. They're the expert at whatever they did to raise their money. Maybe they're a dentist or whatever the heck they do. That's what they're the expert at. I'm the real estate expert. I don't beg for their money. I talk to them about what I do, and maybe I will allow them to fund one of my deals. And if you have that attitude, you're going to be successful. So talk about it all the time, okay? What you've also got to do with private lenders, you got to make strong real estate deals. You can't bring them a crappy deal that they could buy from any realtor on the street. That's not going to work. You've got to bring them a strong deal, okay? If you bring them a strong deal, it changes the world. I usually talk about this particular deal here, real quick. This is something I bought right across the street from the beach in Sarasota, Florida. I love Florida. I buy lots of property down there because it's real cheap and because I can turn them into vacation rentals, and I do tremendously well with it. And I make videos about this. If you look me up on YouTube, I got a channel there. Go to my website, addictedtorealestate.com. And put your name and email address in. I'll send you invitations to my meetings. I'll send you TV shows. I put out TV shows all the time. I'm filming this event right here. Part of this might become a part of a TV show. I'm constantly putting out information. I put out more free information about how to make it in this business than anybody you will ever meet. Okay? Because I just love it. I love what I'm doing. I got some products to sell, but I don't care about that stuff. Maybe there's somebody in this room or somebody in the room later on when I'm on the panel discussion is going to end up lending me $500,000 on a real estate deal. So, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Just keep going around doing the right thing and good things will happen to you. Right? This is a property I bought for like $387,000. Okay, and I needed to put like 150 grand in it to fix it up. I got a private investor to put up the whole kit caboodle. He gave me like $600,000 in cash. I put money in my pocket because I just proved to him that in this area, this property was a short sale, but in this area, these properties are worth $1 million when they're fixed up and operated as a vacation rental. It's actually a duplex, even though it doesn't look like it. I don't have time to go over a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to zip through some stuff I usually show people. Now let's see what we got. Some of my slides are not showing up with pictures. So. All right, well, we'll just do it off of memory. Luckily for you guys, I actually do this stuff for a living, so I don't need the slides to do it. Okay, subject 2 is the next technique that I often use to buy real estate. Hey Ryan, would you tell Jeremy that the photos aren't working and see if he could do something about it?
Yep.
I also got some papers over there. Grab my papers for me, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so private money is the one primary way I use. The second primary way I use to buy houses with none of your own money, without the support of banks, get to keep the properties, and get paid to buy them sometimes, okay, is subject to. Okay? It's basically you're taking over the loan that's on someone's house, subject to. Subject to the terms of their existing mortgage. That's the technical term. What it really is it's a mortgage takeover program. Okay? That's the way I like to explain it to sellers. It's a mortgage takeover program. Thanks, man. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay, so it's a mortgage takeover program. So what I do is, lots of people will come into my store, and maybe their house is worth exactly what they owe on it. Okay, they're in a tight position. They don't know what to do with it. They can't sell it on the market, because if they get what they owe on it, by the time they're done with closing costs and realtor fees and everything, they're going to lose $25,000. They don't have $25,000 to bring to the settlement table. So they're in a tough position. Well, guess what? I can help them. Now, if I like their property, and maybe it doesn't need a lot of work, and maybe they got a mortgage on it already for 4% fixed rate for 30 years, I tell them, I'll tell you what I can do for you, Mrs. Seller. If you would allow me to take over your mortgage, if you would trust me to make the payments on your mortgage, I will buy the house from you. I'll give you a little bit of money. So you walk out of this settlement with a couple $1,000s in your pocket instead of losing $25,000. Okay? And I'm going to make the payments on your mortgage. I'm going to rent out your house to somebody else. I'm a professional in this business for 25 years, so I'm selling myself. I'll give you a list of references so you can meet people who I've done this with before. You can talk to them. I'll give you their phone numbers. Give them a call and talk to them, right? And what I'm going to do is they're going to sell me the house with dirty title. So what I mean by that is, when you typically buy a house, all of the existing liens and encumbrances get paid off. Everybody knows that, right? In this case, we're going to make an exception for that 4% 30-year fixed-rate mortgage that she's only been paying for 7 years. And she is not going to pay it off. She's going to sell me the house and leave that loan on the house. So if you think about it, I get the deed to the property. I now own the property. But the agreement that she has between the bank who lent her the money and herself, which my name isn't even on it, I have nothing to do with it really, is still in her name. So if I don't pay the mortgage, I would destroy her credit, okay? But in many cases, some of these people come to me, they're already not paying the mortgage. They're already behind it. So their credit is already damaged. So I can't do any worse than they're already doing, right? Right? In fact, the chances of me succeeding with it are much better. They're going to certainly believe that. They're not the professionals. I am the professional. Okay? So, that's basically how it works. They let me take over the mortgage. Okay? Many times they do it reluctantly, but over a time period when they see I'm fixing up the property, I'm renting out the property, and I'm paying them every month, they get very comfortable with it. And guess what happens if I pay their mortgage every month? Anybody know? I'm fixing their credit, right? The credit that they couldn't fix and the payment that they couldn't make, I'm doing it for them, okay? So in many cases, they're reluctant to do it in the beginning, but after they see what I'm doing for a while, they don't even want me to pay off their mortgage. They want me to leave it there because I'm helping them tremendously. Okay, so often that's the kind of scenario that this happens with. Now sometimes the house might need work, sometimes it doesn't. There's lots of different scenarios. Sometimes there's equity in the house, sometimes there isn't. There's lots of different things, lots of different ways you can make money off of that. Okay? Let's just suppose, I don't have a lot of time to go into this in great detail, but let's just suppose that the house had $50,000 in equity. Well, maybe I'll give them 10, and I'll give them 10 grand at the settlement table, you know, a little something for their trouble, and I'd pick up $40,000 in net worth on one transaction. Okay? And keep in mind that this kind of settlement, suppose I bought their house for what they owed on it, and I didn't have to give them any money. It's essentially a free house. I go to a settlement, we sign some documents, I pay some insignificant closing costs, I own the house. And it comes with 4% financing, 30-year fixed rate, with only 7 years paid off on it. I got beautiful financing for the next 23 years. And I didn't have to give the bank my tax returns, my blood samples, and all the other bullshit that they asked for, right? I picked up the whole loan just like that, because they knew me, they liked me, they trust me, they understood that I was trying to help them. It's something you can be proud of, too. In this business, it's not enough to become successful. It's not enough. If you're going around screwing people to become successful, that's no way to live your life. That's nothing to be proud of. But when you do business like this, I'm helping people, and at the same time, I'm making money, and I can be proud of what I'm doing, and I'm building my net worth, and I'm increasing my cash flow. She doesn't know how to rent property. She doesn't know what properties rent for. I'm a master at that. I've been doing this for 25 years. If I haven't figured it out by now, I'm never going to learn it, right? Okay? So I take the house that she thought she could rent for $1,000 a month, and I'm renting it for $1,695. Plus, I'm charging them for water bills and other things too. All right, and pet fees, and you name it. I know how to do this business, and I know how to market things. So the subject to technique, one little thing that you're going to hear all the time about the subject to technique is the due on sale clause. You're going to hear that all the time. People are going to say, well, we'll have to call my bank. No, we're not going to call your bank. We're not going to call your bank. Okay? You do, they do. The people who took the mortgage, they have a due on sale clause that's in their mortgage, which means that at the point they sell the home, and they are selling the home to me, that they have to pay off